Today, I'd like to explain to you 5 really good examples as to why you should leave the white of the paper for your whites. Here we have an example of a lighthouse, and when I have painted the sky, I have left the white of the lighthouse entirely. And then once that's dry, I've laid a wash of pure water along here on the left, and then a wash of the dark shadow color, and allowed the two to gently fuse together, giving a very convincing dark shadow on the right hand side. Then once that's dried, I've laid a tiny amount of the yellowy pinky color down here to show the sun catching that light side. Also, with respect to the various crashing waves on the beach here, that's the whites again, and you can choose to, if you wish to, after you've laid those in, lay a little bit of the color of the sun catching those cresting waves. And so that is Cape Florida Lighthouse, Key Biscayne, Miami-Dade County, and there is a tutorial for this video, and I strongly recommend you looking at that tutorial. Then we have St. Augustine Lighthouse, and in this example, once again, we've put the sky in first. We've left all the light of the lighthouse, even when we've come down here for the foliage. Then the same principle, wash of clear water, a wash of the dark shadow, let them fuse together, then totally dry that off using a hairdryer if necessary to speed up the process, and then laying on the dark color here. Now in this instance, as what I like to do anyway, I've used a combination of colors to achieve that dark. It's French ultramarine and light red. I think that's more harmonious than squeezing some, say, lamp black out of a tube and using that as a dark, because I think that jumps at you. But this is more subtle when you mix colors together for your darks like that. Then we're still in St. Augustine, and this is a village street, the oldest street in the United States of America, first settled by the Spanish in 1565. Well worth a visit to St. Augustine. Great place to go, interesting, lots of lively music and friendly atmosphere, etc., and lots of history. But here I've chosen this subject because there are lights scattered all over the place. Much better to have left those lights as I've done, and then let them sing out, and then once you lay the other colors upon those lights, they look really convincing, and I think that works really well. Then another example, these are actually penguins that are jumping in here, nice little fashion of jumping, and that's cute. And then got mother and father protecting the baby penguin. And here, of course, we've got lots of lights that have been left. Can you imagine if you were having to, say you painted over that, and then you were having to put tons and tons and tons of opaque color to achieve your lights? It would not look convincing, they would jump out at you, but this is much more convincing. And these are emperor penguins. They're really big, they're one of the biggest penguins that there are, and they have these cute little babies that you can see here. And finally, yet another example as to why it's best to leave the light of the paper for your whites. Can you imagine how much opaque color you'd have to use if you'd gone over this area with other colors? You'd have to use tons of it, and it would jump at you. It would interfere with you trying to put the figures in, etc., etc. So leave the white of the paper. Once that's been left, you can put in these nice shadows of the trees on top. That's convincing. Put all your figures on, so forth. And then you can put this in with the shadow color coming down like this to show speed and action, and to show the variation and the shadows and the depth within the snow. And this too is a tutorial that you can look at on my YouTube channel. Thank you for looking at these, and I hope that you found that useful. And do please remember to like and subscribe, because it's all free and you'll see future videos. You'll get notified of them in advance. Thanks for now, and happy painting.